This is a hike that we took in Canyonlands National Park in the Island in the Sky district in October of 2024. The Murphy Trail Loop is 10.5 miles long, and the moving time was about 4 hours and 42 minutes on this hike. You can see here the shape of the hike. You go out and then do a loop around and then come back on the same lollipop stick. So the first part of the hike is on the high mesa, heads out to the cliff. Once you reach the edge of the cliff, then it's a matter of negotiating down, following cairns. The trail is lightly marked with cairns, so just you have to be patient and look for them. This is a hike that's got a vertical decline of about 1,600 feet at this point, and it's fairly sheer for the drop-offs. So if you're somebody that struggles with heights, this may not be a hike for you. There was not a lot of difficult trail finding on this hike. If there's ever a point where you're concerned that you've lost the trail, stop and reassess, because the trail is not that hard to follow. And in most places, the trail is wide enough that typically, if you don't have fears of heights, you wouldn't be overly concerned. We are making our way down the cliff face, and eventually we come out and approach the loop portion of the hike. We chose to do the hike counterclockwise, so we hiked out first on what's called the Hog's Back. It's the higher mesa, and the bottom half of the loop will bring us back up through a dry wash, and we'll have a little bit more to climb up because of that choice. But going out, we wanted to take this route because we knew right away, right after coming off the cliff, we would have these stunning vistas 360 in every direction. The hike on the high mesa gives you those just incredible views. And eventually you come to the end of the mesa, and you'll have to work your way down to the White Rim Road. And in some of these pictures, you'll see the White Rim Road off in the distance. There on those last couple of pictures, you can see the Green River in the distance. Now we're on the White Rim Road. And the hike on this road, it's a rough Jeep road, is probably a half mile to 3/4 of a mile. Then you reconnect back in the sandy wash to complete the loop portion of the trail. That's the connector sign for the wash. And the wash didn't afford the big 360 views, but still an interesting hike nonetheless. You can see the power of water as it erodes the area. We came across a couple of places where There were either cattle camps or mining camps, and you could see the remains of fencing, some galvanized sheeting, rock stacked up. And we're working our way back now to the cliff face. Here we're ascending the end of the loop. And now we've finished the loop and we will start the ascent back up the cliff face. It's a significant hike back up. Bear in mind, gravity's not quite as friendly on the way up, so you have to sort of know your level of fitness and hike to that, knowing that the whole hike is about 10.5 miles, so you're going to be going back up after you hiked about 8.5 miles. Always a little more challenging going up. We took our time, and in October the temperatures were perfect, so we didn't have the sweltering sun. This would be an entirely different hike in June or July. We paused briefly 2 or 3 times, catch our breath, get a drink of water, admire the scenery because it's just stunning to look back. Again, this is a hike that you have to know yourself. If you have issues with heights, you're near the edge on most of the descent and then the ascent coming back. And again, there's the physical fitness part to it. We hike a fair amount. We're in pretty reasonable shape. We're not Olympic athletes or anything. It's definitely a doable hike, so you don't want to get talked out of it, but just understand what you're getting yourself into. Now we're hiking back on the highest mesa, and we'll eventually make our way back to our car and have a chance to reflect on this beautiful hike.